Okay, to make the dahlia, you will need to either hand cut all the petals as outlined on the instruction document or use your favorite cutting machine. So to begin with, we're going to take 2 smaller dowel rods, or actually probably 3 different sizes for the different petals to style them. So no matter what size dahlia you make, they will be all styled the same way. So there'll be 2 of the larger, 2 of a little bit smaller, 2, 2, and then 4 for the smallest petal. And again, all of that information is outlined on the instruction document. So basically, just take your dowel rod, place it in the middle of the petal, and pinch and roll all around it. And this is how all of the petals are styled. So whether you resize the dahlia to be smaller or larger, you just may need to add extra layers or delete some of the layers if you make it smaller. Again, I'm doing 2 at a time. Make sure they're lined up as best possible. Place the dowel rod on top of the petal in the middle. Pinch and roll. Pinch and roll. Again, we'll just go on to the next size and do the same. I'm right-handed, so I just roll all mine in from the right. If you are left-handed, it wouldn't matter. You can alternate it. And this makes about a 3-inch flower, approximately. And we move on to our next size. If you don't have the smaller dowel rods, you can use the end of a paintbrush. It just needs to be something round. A skewer. I did buy a variety pack of dowel rods, and that is available at Walmart, is where I purchased mine. I'm going to do 2 of the smaller at a time. These are small. So again, I'm using a really tiny one. I'm not even sure where I got this one. But if you do make a lot of smaller flowers, I do recommend getting a variety pack of the dowel rods. And you can always pinch them up a little bit. Line them up. Again, place the dowel rod down in the center. And these I just kind of pinch. Just turn and rotate that. All right, so now that is all complete. You're gonna get your foam mat. It's a flower shaping mat. I have seen, if you have an older yoga mat, it should work too. You could cut off a piece. This helps with the styling, the molding of the flower. And they are on Amazon for approximately $6–7. The next item you'll need is the metal ball stylus. Again, these come in a variety pack on Amazon, maybe $7 or $8. So if you do make a lot of smaller flowers, again, I highly recommend it. So just put your petal down. This is going to be your first one, so you don't want to roll too much in the center, but you want to lift the petals just slightly, and you can press them back down. And you're going to do this to all of the petals. So take your next 2 sizes, And you can always flatten them if you need to. Okay, so this one's a little bit flatter, so we're gonna glue this one right in the center and assemble it. So I'm using the AdTech Precision Pro glue gun. It has a smaller tip, which makes it easier for assembling of smaller flowers. Now you're just going to alternate your placement of them. And glue your next ones on. And your next. So again, just alternating the placement. I do like to turn my flowers. I'm using Gorilla Glue, so it does adhere rather quickly. You can use craft glue, whatever you prefer. It is a full flower, so as you can see, we still have a lot of petals yet to assemble. So as you get in the center, I like to use the metal ball stylus just to make sure it adheres. Okay, take your next two sets, the smaller sizes, and we're gonna leave one out for now. We'll still roll it. I'm gonna attach this one. Again, looking to go in between the previous petals layers. You don't want too much hot glue because then they tend to turn. Okay, so let's roll our 4 smaller ones, and then we're going to build the center out. Again, roll them all with your metal ball stylus. Pick it up, fold them all in. Okay. Give it a good twist. Add some glue to the bottom. Place it in between. So kind of look for a petal and place it in between. Hold it there for a second. You can see. Now we're just going to fold up around it. Press it together. Make sure it's nice and tight because we don't have a lot of room, but we want it full. Press it at the base, add a little bit of hot glue. Again, this is where the Precision Pro glue gun, the smaller nozzle, is very helpful with the smaller flowers. Okay. Again, add glue, and we're going to add it in there. Look for a petal, place it in between, press down for a second. Whoops. And then fold up. And then we're going to glue it into this petal, and then we'll glue the whole thing into the center. So again, add your glue. Look for a petal, place it in between. fold it up around. Give it a good squeeze. And then add glue, and then we're going to place it in the center. So there's your glue. Look for a petal. We're going to place it right there. Hold it down for a second to allow it to dry and adhere. And then you can fluff it out a little. And now our flower is completely assembled. So you do receive a sepal and a leaf. So to style the sepal, you can just draw a line down the center and then lines towards that center line of each leaf. Go down the center, bring lines in towards the center on each side of that center line. Just like if you were looking at a leaf outdoors. And I like to go over with a little bit larger metal ball, just to give it some impressions. I just kind of go over the same lines. So if you look on the back, you can see the impression, and on the front. I like to pinch the edge just a little bit. Now, if you were going to stem it, this is from the Dollar Tree. Here you can just, it's a small stylus. So they do have these, the smaller ones for styling your leaves. Just go into the center of it and punch a hole. Might need a little bit bigger. Should be able to get our stem through it. I'm going to take some wire. You're going to do this. Then basically all you do is take your thumb and wrap it around. Just make a loop. You can use needle nose pliers, but I usually just use a dowel rod. So right now it's basically straight up. So you just need to turn it perpendicular 90 degrees. So it's at an angle now. Okay. We're going to add a little glue to the bottom, and then you thread it through the sepal. So again, add a little glue. Thread it through, and then just try and line it up with one of the petals. And just hold it there for a second. So this is if you're going to stem the dahlias. If you're not, depending on what you're used, you can use the sepal. You would again style it the same way. So again, put your line down the center and then lines towards the center line. Draw a straight line and then center lines. I just like to go over it again to give it extra texture. It's not necessary, it's optional. And then you can pinch them. And depending again what you're doing, you can just hot glue it to the back and it would look like that. If you are going to stem it, then you would just add some hot glue here and attach it to be stemmed. I'm not going to add either because with my projects that I'm going to use it for, you won't see it. You also get a leaf. So I did trace one from an image I saw of a dahlia, of a real dahlia, to create the files. So then do your straight line down and do your lines towards your center. Line down the center and then your lines towards that center. Again, just go over it a little bit. So you can see it adds texture. This is, you can either use a small dowel rod again to roll it if you like, or you can just pinch it at the top. Because as you know, leaves are not perfect. They're all crumply. And there you have it. So you can, the leaves are optional for you to cut. Use many different sizes. You can size them down to make approximately 2-inch dahlia as well. And that would be created exactly the same way. Just roll all your petals up around the dowel rod. Roll your metal ball stylus in the center to bring the leaves to stand up, and then glue all of them, starting with the largest to the smallest. Thanks for watching.